it is far important to understand the working of God. The reason I still pray for the Anglican Church in the coming clergy. This is the true name, not the bishop, not the archangel, not anything but the clergy, meaning a priest. I pray for the coming priest in the office of the Anglican churches, that he may not act freely in truth of the outgoing church clergy that have lost the glory of God. Glories of God are lost when God is intervening in redeeming his church. This is the redemption power that saves the innocent to stand for the mighty of his word. And then I call upon all servants of God to look at this act not as anger, but as a way of phasing out the evil pattern on the land. If I was like the incoming Pope, if I was the incoming Pope, I was going to declare like a Trump that we need the Bible, not a row of the God of the land. If I was the incoming Pope, I was going to declare without fear there is a Pope coming to replace the broken structures of evil power in this season. Through what? I said there is a Pope coming. May he not come from Africa or come to Africa to demonstrate the dangers of their illness in their houses. So there is a Pope coming to represent the glory of God. They carry the wisdom to understand the riddles of the prophets. Everyone, I say, Trump, you are congratulated because all these evil powers are already broken by the day you were declared a winner. Fear not. These are the 7 cases that shall come. I'm praying for Trump as a servant of God.
Pope Francis has died. That's come from the Vatican. We just have that breaking news. Pope Francis has died. That's coming to us from the Vatican via the AFP news agency. We don't have any more details than that. This just reaching us here at BBC News in the last few minutes that Pope Francis has died. That confirmation coming through from the Vatican and coming to us via the AFP news agency. My colleague Rich Preston is with me here. Rich, just bring us up to date.
Well, Lewis, as you say, this is just come into us in the last few moments. A statement issued by Cardinal Farrell announcing with sorrow the death of Pope Francis, with these words: "Dearest brothers and sisters, with deep sorrow, I must announce the death of our Holy Father Francis at 7:35 this morning. The Bishop of Rome, Francis, returned to the house of the Father. His entire life was dedicated to the service of the Lord and his church. He taught us to live the values of the gospel with fidelity, courage and universal love, especially in favour of the poorest and most marginalised." Now, the statement goes on to say, "With immense gratitude for his example as a true disciple of the Lord Jesus, we commend the soul of Pope Francis to the infinite merciful love of the one and true God." So That statement coming to us from the Vatican. Now, of course, Pope Francis, as many people will be aware, recently spent a considerable time in hospital with double pneumonia, including during that period being on oxygen for extended periods of time. There was a lot of concern about the Pope's health then, of course. He was released from hospital relatively recently. He did not take part in the Easter celebrations yesterday. He was there, he wrote the sermon, but he didn't give the sermon himself. We did see the Pope touring around in the Pope Mobile, seeing crowds, greeting people in St. Peter's Square. And now, Lewis, this morning, this news that Pope Francis has died at the age of 88.